Honorable Justice Asha Menon ji, my esteemed sister and brother judges, Honorable Justice Brijesh Sethi ji, former Judge of Delhi High Court, Shri Chetan Sharma, Additional Solicitor General of India, Shri Amit Soni, Central Government Standing Counsel, Shri Murari Tiwari, Chairman Bar Council of Delhi, Shri Mohit Mathur, President Delhi High Court Bar Association, Shri Jatan Singh, Vice President Delhi High Court Bar Association, Shri Abhijit, Secretary Delhi High Court Bar Association, Shri Sanjay Lau, Standing Counsel, Criminal, Government of NCT of Delhi, Shri Santosh Tripathi, Standing Counsel, Civil, Government of NCT of Delhi, Standing Counsels of the Central and the State Government, Executive Members of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, Office Bearers of Bar Council of Delhi and other district bar associations, senior advocates, members of the bar, family members of Justice Asha Menon, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. We have assembled here to bid farewell to Honorable Justice Asha Menon, who has been serving on the bench of this court since 27th of May 2019. Justice Menon was born on 17th of September 1960 at Patambi, Kerala. Her school life was dispersed in different schools of the country and she finished her schooling from Kendriya Vidyalaya, New Delhi. In 1979, she graduated in BA Economics Honours from Lady Shri Ram College, University of Delhi. Thereafter, she enrolled for the LLB course at Campus Law Center, University of Delhi. Upon completion of her LLB in the year 1982, she came on the roll of Bar Council of Delhi as the youngest person to be enrolled in that year. In 1986, Justice Menon decided to serve on the bench and join the Delhi Judicial Service. As an officer of the Judicial Service, Justice Menon presided over various courts in multiple jurisdictions, including rent, civil, criminal, guardianship, etc. After serving for 14 years, Justice Menon was promoted to the Higher Judicial Service in the year 2000. As a judge in the Higher Judiciary, Justice Menon handled various jurisdictions involving land acquisition matters, litigation against public utility services providers such as Electricity Board, DISCOMs, Delhi Jal Board, and Municipal Corporation of Delhi. After the 2014 amendment in the Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI Act, Justice Menon also presided over the special court dealing with SEBI prosecutions and enhancement of penalties. Apart from her contribution on the judicial side, Justice Menon has also been a trained mediator. In the year 2005, Justice Menon underwent mediation training at the Institute for the Study and Development of Legal Systems, California. Subsequently, Justice Menon conducted various training sessions in different parts of the country and contributed immensely towards the development of good practices in the field of mediation. From September 12, 2008, Justice Menon served as a member secretary of Delhi Legal State Services Authority for a period of 4 years. Her tenure at DALSA was marked by various achievements, including setting up of district authorities in all districts of Delhi, appointment of full-time secretaries, and organization of mega Lok Adalats. Justice Menon was also instrumental in overseeing the proper training of legal aid panel counsels, as well as in commencing the para-legal volunteer scheme and school literacy program in the capital. Justice Menon's services as member secretary of DALSA were recognized and appreciated at all levels. This led to her reappointment as member secretary of the National Services Legal Authority in the year 2012. In that capacity, she submitted various reports to the Supreme Court of India on various issues in respect of missing children, implementation of juvenile justice, care and protection of children Act 2000, rehabilitation of trafficked children and women, and the protection of rights of voluntary sex workers. As member secretary, she assisted the Supreme Court in the case of National Legal Services Authority of India versus Union of India, a landmark judgment that recognized and upheld the principles of individual autonomy and the right of self-identification of persons belonging to the third gender. On a return From the National Legal Service Authority, Justice Menon took charge as the Principal Judge, Family Court Headquarter, cum District Judge Dwarka. Thereafter, she served as a District Judge and Sessions Judge Saket until her elevation as a judge of this court in the year 2019. In her long career, Justice Menon has contributed immensely for the advancement of the cause of justice, having served well in diverse capacities as a judicial officer. Justice Menon gathered vast experience that reflected well during her tenure on the bench of this court. Justice Menon adopted a humanitarian approach while deciding issues involving rights of individuals, particularly in matters involving family disputes. As we bid farewell to you, Justice Menon, today, I, on my behalf and on behalf of my colleagues on the bench, congratulate you for a long and successful career in the profession. I can confidently say that with your services rendered in different capacities, the system has benefited immensely. Today, you are leaving the system better and improved. I also congratulate and extend my best wishes to your esteemed family members, and we pray to God for your good health and for all times to come. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Honorable Justice Satish Chandra Sharma, Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, and his companion judges, Shri Vijay Sharma ji, former High Court Judge, Shri Mohit Mathur, President, Delhi High Court Bar Association, Jatan Singh, Vice President, Delhi Bar Association, Abhijat, Honorary Secretary, Delhi High Court Bar Association, Mr. Murari Tiwari, Chairman, Bar Council of Delhi, Shri Sanjay Lau, Standing Counsel Criminal, Government of Delhi, Shri Santosh Kumar Tripathi, Standing Counsel Civil, Government of Delhi, and other executive members of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, office bearers of other district bar associations, senior advocates, district judges, family members of Justice Asha Menon, judicial officers, law researchers, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. I stand here on behalf of Shri Chetan Sharma, learned Additional Solicitor General of India, who is indisposed, who could not come, to bid farewell to Justice Asha Menon, who is demitting office after illustrious inning and a journey of judicial officer throughout. Justice Asha Menon was born on 17th September 1960 in Kerala. This auspicious day is also known as the Constitution Day of America, as it honors the document that guaranteed Americans their essential rights. Not to be forgotten, that she shares her birthday with our respected and most popular Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. She studied in different schools across India and completed her schooling from Kendriya Vidyalaya, R.K. Puram, New Delhi. She graduated in Economic Honours from Lady Shri Ram College, University of Delhi, and thereafter LLB from the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi in 1982. In 2006, she obtained her LLM from Kurukshetra University. Justice Menon was selected in the judicial service exams conducted in 84-85 and joined the services on 4th November 1986. Justice Menon presided over various courts in all jurisdiction over a period of 14 years, including civil, criminal, rent, etc., and was promoted to the Delhi Higher Judicial Service on 16th August 2000. Justice Menon was the youngest to enroll with the Bar Council of Delhi in that year. When my lady Asha Menon joined the judiciary, not many lady judges were there to guide her. Her appearance as a young, charming lady would bewilder us as to how would she conduct or handle quote-unquote hardened criminals who will appear before her every day when she was a magistrate. But with her inherent confidence, soft-spoken but firm attitude, she sailed herself through the initial times. Justice Menon underwent mediation training in 2005, conducted by Institute of the Study and Development of Legal Systems, and subsequently was selected for training as a master trainer by the Center of Effective Dispute Resolutions. She has conducted training sessions in mediation in all four corners of the country, including Kerala, Chennai, Chandigarh, Rajasthan, Indore, etc. On 12th of September 2008, Justice Menon was posted as the member secretary Delhi State Legal Service Authority and remained as such till 31st October 2012. During this tenure, many firsts were achieved. The Legal Service Authorities Act 87 was implemented in full measure with the creation of district authorities. In each district of Delhi, full-time secretaries were appointed, mega Lok Adalats were organized, and several outreach programs initiated. For the first time in India, on 8th February 2009, a paperless Lok Adalat was held when, without moving the file, thousands of cases pertaining to 138 negotiable instruments were disposed of. As a member secretary, she was called upon by the Delhi High Court to submit various reports which formed the basis of orders with far-reaching effect touching upon the welfare of economically weaker sections such as Anganwadi, night shelters, missing children, mentally ill, to name a few. At the international level, Justice Menon has represented India at the Asia-Pacific Regional Consultation on HIV-related legal services and rights in 2012 at Bangkok, Thailand. She has also visited Malawi, Africa as a member of the Indian delegation on the aegis of the United Nations Development Programme. On completion of her tenure in 2012, Justice Menon was posted to the Sessions Court, but was again called to become Member Secretary of the National Legal Services Authority on being so selected by the then Chief Justice of India, and held the position till 2015. For the first time under her supervision, national Lok Adalats were commenced on a regular basis. In 2016, she was appointed chairperson of the committee constituted by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, Government of India, for drafting new rules under the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2015, which have since been notified. On return from Nalsa in January 2016, she took charge as the Family Court Principal Judge, come District Judge at the Dwarka, and thereafter she became a Session Judge, come in Judge in charge of Saket till May 2019. On 27th May 2019, Justice Menon was elevated as a permanent judge of the Delhi High Court. She is an outstanding judge, complete in all respects, uncanny ability coupled with extraordinary intellect and desire to decide even the most complex and difficult issues as palpable and reflected in her judgments. The issues decided have varied from constitutional law, jurisprudence, jurisdiction and scope of writ courts, public interest litigations to criminal law. All the hard work she put in and her vast experience in law judiciary led her to give some landmark judgments as a High Court judge. To name a few, in Pradeep Kumar versus Srimati Bhavna, in respect of maintenance to be given to the wife and child, Justice Menon held, it behoves no husband or a father to deny a fair standard of living for a wife who is a homemaker and the child of tender age. To deny maintenance to an estranged wife and child, it is the worst offense even for a humanitarian perspective. Yet it is sad truth that husbands force wives to file execution petitions to delay payments. In another judgment, Jindal Kumar versus State of Delhi, Justice Menon had observed that subjecting a citizen to police scrutiny, including verification of his personal documents for no good reason, except on the whimsical demand of the petitioner, would entail a serious invasion of the respondent's right to privacy. In Kailash Ghelot versus Vijender Gupta, Justice Menon held that while assessing whether the tweets contain a misrepresentation of the facts causing damage to the reputation of the plaintiff, it cannot be overlooked that both the plaintiff as well as the defendant are public figures and members of the Legislative Assembly. There is a right vested in the opposition to question the government on its actions, as the executive is subject to legislature under the Constitution. This is key to the maintenance of balance of power between the two wings of the state. Justice is stated to be blind, but judges are not. This could be inferred as about 2 weeks ago, while sitting in the court of Justice Menon, I heard arguments on which prima facie your ladyship was not inclined to quash the proceedings, but after hearing the entire story of how a stepson was harassing his stepmother, she sent the case for mediation and also scolded the police for being overactive in a family dispute. This showed her humanistic approach. My ladyship, these are not my feelings alone. This expression of love and gratitude flows from each of us present here. and I have only become their mouthpiece. Though this is a farewell function, yet you are not going away at all from our hearts. We shall remember you and your excellent work through your children who today are practicing lawyers. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Honorable Mr. Justice Satish Chandra Sharma, Chief Justice, High Court of Delhi, Honorable Judges of the High Court of Delhi, Honorable Mr. Brajesh Sethi, Retired High Court Judge, Mr. Anil Soni, Standing Counsel, Central Government, Mr. Santosh Kumar Tripathi, Standing Counsel, Civil Government of NCT of Delhi, Standing Counsels, Government Councils, Unit of India and Delhi Government, Mr. Murari Tiwari, Chairman, Bar Council of Delhi, Mr. Mohit Mathur, President, High Court Bar Association, Mr. Jatan Singh, Vice President, Mr. Abhijaz, Secretary, Delhi High Court Bar Association, Office Bearers of the High Court Bar Association, senior members of the bar, dear colleagues, and Honorable Justice Asha Menon and her family members. Today we have assembled here to bid farewell to Honorable Justice Asha Menon, who with her immense patience, humility and kindness have served this esteemed institution. Justice Asha Menon was born in Kerala, and after completing her schooling from Delhi, she completed her graduation in economic honors and thereafter LLB from Delhi University. Since 1986, when she joined the Delhi Judicial Services, she has served the judiciary with full dedication and hard work, which led to her elevation as a High Court Judge of Delhi in the year 2019. Even as a judge in the judicial services, she gained vast experience almost in all fields, be it civil, criminal, family court, or as a rent controller. As a judge on the administrative side, she brought various reforms on the judicial side and made the system more comfortable for the litigants at large. It is due to her vast knowledge, hard work, and professional ethics that she has gained the trust of not only the members of the bar, but also the common people who come to seek justice. Justice Asha Menon was posted as Member Secretary, Delhi Legal Services Authority from 2008 to 2012. When during this tenure, the Legal Services Authority Act 1987 was implemented and mega Lok Adalats were organized. During this period, paralegal volunteer scheme also commenced. Justice Asha Menon played a significant role in drafting jail parole guidelines 2010. With her capability to understand the finer points of law, she in her short span of elevation as a High Court, Honorable High Court Judge of our High Court, has given some landmark judgments, delivering justice to one and all, thus upholding the dignity of this esteemed institution. Her latest judgments, whether relating to money laundering matters, family disputes, trademark cases, or criminal matters, where her directions to the IJ prisons regarding isolation of the medical wards in the city jails all go to the extent to prove her deep understanding of nitty-gritty of law and at the same time applying a balanced mind to deliver the judgments. Her immense knowledge, particularly on the criminal side, has not only been a boon to the general public, but also put curbs on the misuse of powers by various government agencies whenever used excessively. This farewell cannot be the end of the memories we all have for her all throughout these years. While bidding farewell to Justice Asha Menon, I personally and on behalf of the government of NCT of Delhi, my colleagues on the civil and the criminal side, extend our good wishes to her and her family members, a very successful, joyful life in the coming years. Thank you.
My Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice Satish Chandra Sharma, Chief Justice of this Honorable High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice Siddharth Mridul, Honorable Mr. Justice Manmohan, Honorable MS Justice Asha Menon, and other Honorable companion judges of this Honorable High Court, Justice Brajesh Sethi, Mr. Anil Soni, Central Standing Counsel, Government of India, Mr. Sanjay Lau, Standing Counsel Criminal, Mr. Santosh Tripathi, Standing Counsel Civil, Mr. B.S. Shukla and other government councils, Mr. Ramesh Gupta, Mr. Rajiv Khosla, members Bar Council of Delhi, Mr. Mohit Mathur, President, Delhi High Court Bar Association, Mr. Jatan Singh, Vice President, Mr. Avijat, Honorary Secretary, High Court Bar Association, Madam Kajal Chandra, Dhan Mohan and other executive members of High Court Bar Associations, senior advocates, Mr. Inderbir Singh Alal, Sanjeev Kumar Dubey and other senior advocates and members of the bar, respected members of the family of Justice Asha Menon, Mr. C.N. Sri Kumar, senior advocate, her son Arun Menon and daughter Anupma Kumar. Warm greetings to each and everyone assembled here to bid farewell to my ladyship Honorable M.S. Justice Asha Menon upon her retirement from an illustrious career. My ladyship completed her LLB from the prestigious Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. Fortunately, I have also graduated from Campus Law Center, Delhi University, and her legacy is cherished by us all. Her achievements, dynamism, zest, and undaunting spirit has always motivated the entire fraternity. I would like to share with this august gathering that my ladyship developed interest in law after reading Perry Mason books. Justice Menon particularly enjoyed reading about the cross-examinations and courtroom strategies described in the books. My ladyship is also an explorer and loves traveling across India. Interestingly, Nagaland is the only state she has not visited yet. The duty of the courts is to do justice while exhibiting fairness, respect and dignity to the people who come before it. A judge is the fulcrum on which our entire justice system balances, which in turn is the cornerstone of a democratic nation, and one such gem is Justice Menon. My ladyship has worked in all three formats of Delhi judiciary, the lower judiciary, higher judiciary, and before this Honorable High Court of Delhi. As a member of the bar since 1991, I have also had the opportunity to appear before my ladyship across different courts. Her impeccable work, ethics, and meticulous draftsmanship has always inspired me. You have been the unsung hero in enabling this institution to fulfill its many and often daunting responsibilities. During her time at the Legal Services Authority, she encouraged college students to engage with community to spread awareness about welfare legislations, a program initiated by our kind and generous Justice Menon. Her consideration, her caring, her interest in others, her humanity knows no bounds. Justice Menon has always been acknowledged for being pleasant yet forthright and an upfront person. She is also an outstanding and hard-working judge, known for giving a patient hearing to everyone, which reflects in her landmark judgments. This has also resulted in deep admiration, abounding affection, and respect from the members of the bar. Justice Menon has always rendered all possible assistance that the institution and litigant expects from a judge in discharging her constitutional obligations. She shall be remembered for her positive support. She has always exhibited a paramount standard of ethical conduct that has stood out. My ladyship's only regret has been that she could not spend as much time with her children as she would have liked, but her dedication towards work, which even required her to leave the house in the middle of the night to record a dying declaration, leaving behind an infant daughter who is present here before this august gathering, has inspired not only her children, but also all of us present here. Her impeccable work, ethic, and perseverance are legion. Her achievements in the field of law and social justice and her contribution towards legal fraternity are endless and cannot be summarized in words. The legal fraternity shall always remain indebted for her exceptional contribution, and there shall be a big vacuum on her retirement. As Justice Menon parts, on behalf of the Bar Council of Delhi, all my colleagues and myself, I convey our best wishes, good health, and contentment to my Lady Chief Honorable Justice Menon. We will miss you greatly, but we shall not forget the lessons that you taught us by your words and, more importantly, by your example. I am sure the retirement shall not stop her progressive contributions, which in other capacity she shall be rendering to the nation. Thank you very much. Wish you good luck for the new year.
Honorable the Chief Justice of this Honorable High Court, Justice Satish Chandra Sharma, Honorable Justice Asha Menon ji, other Honorable Judges of this Honorable Court, Central Government Standing Counsel, Anil Soni ji, Mr. Sanjay Lau, Standing Counsel Criminal Government of NCT of Delhi, Mr. Jatan Singh and Mr. Vijat, Vice President, Honorary Secretary of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, other members of the Executive Committee and the office bearers of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, Mr. Murari Tiwari, Chairman, and other distinguished members of the Bar Council of Delhi, Justice Brijesh Sethi, former judge of this Honorable Court, senior counsels and cherished members of the Bar, Mr. Shri Kumar ji, friends and family of Justice Asha Menon, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This court has had a very tangible electricity in the air for the last few weeks, but the spirits are slightly dampened just a touch today as we gather for the farewell reference of Justice Asha Menon. I must say it has been an absolute privilege to serve my tenure with such a vibrant bench. Today, Justice Asha Menon superannuates after serving as a judge for a whopping 36 years. Such a lengthy and devoted service deserves adequate recognition and respect. An issue that deserves mention is the contribution of the women of India towards its march toward development and supremacy. And my Lord has been an icon for all our sister colleagues in the fraternity. It's a welcome change to see a large number of women joining the profession, getting adequate representation, and reaching its heights. When heading the legal services authorities also, Justice Menon was meticulous in improving the processes and increasing the number of beneficiaries who could have the legal services from the institution. I'm sure the counsels appearing before her bench have had an enriching experience being in her court and will take the lessons learned from her in the interaction further. Justice Asha Menon, as already mentioned, was born on 17 September 1960 at Patambi, Kerala. For those who do not know, Patambi Taluka in the district of Palakkad, in the God's own country, has a most significant and cultural history, being a center of learning and having produced eminent scholars and literary figures. Ma'am, if I may be permitted to say that you have joined that list of great people and have made your home state proud in all respects. On 27th May 2019, Justice Menon was elevated as a permanent judge of the Honorable High Court of Delhi. Ma'am, I remember like it was yesterday when you joined us along with Justice Bhatnagar, Justice Talwant Singh, and Justice Brijesh Sethi, who is present here. If I may say so, during her time here, Justice Menon presided over her court with a firm hand and never allowed the majesty of our institution to be undermined. Nevertheless, I have seldom come across human beings that have possessed her passion for achieving true and tangible justice, especially for the marginalized and the weak. If the circumstances of a case would allow, Justice Menon's priority has always been dispute resolution over adversarial litigation, especially in matrimonial cases. I have had the opportunity to appear before her in few cases as a counsel and learned a lot from her and have given her a fair share of my persistent arguments. She would engage with counsels rather than dismissing their arguments. And I'm sure all the counsels here share and second my opinion. She's been a humane, pragmatic, and a soft-spoken judge. That being said, I, on my behalf and on behalf of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, thank and salute Justice Menon for her service to this honorable court and the people of Delhi. Having appeared so regularly before her court, I know Justice Menon well enough to keep my speech brief. And in any case, the order of speaking leaves very little to me. I thank Justice Menon's family members for gracing the occasion and being amidst us today. We here at the Delhi High Court Bar Association wish Justice Asha Menon all the very best of health and happiness hereafter. I repeat what our Honorary Secretary, Mr. Abhijat, said in the cafeteria today, ma'am. You are an honorary member of our Bar Association, and all our doors and hearts are open to welcome you anytime you wish to come, ma'am. And last, lest I forget, my lords, happy birthday in advance. Thank you.
Honorable the Chief Justice, Justice Satish Chandra Sharma, my esteemed sister and brother judges, Mr. Mohit Mathur, President, Mr. Jatan Singh, Vice President, Mr. Abhijat, Honorary Secretary, other members of the Executive Committee of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, Mr. Murari Tiwari, Chairman Bar Council of Delhi and office bearers of the Bar Council of Delhi, Mr. Anil Soni, Central Government Standing Counsel, Mr. Sanjay Lau, Standing Counsel Criminal Side, Government of NCT of Delhi, Mr. Santosh Tripathi, Standing Counsel Civil, other Standing Counsel for the State and Central Governments, office bearers of other district bar associations, senior advocates, other members of the bar, Justice Brijesh Sethi, members of my family, registrar generals, registrars, officers and staff of the court, as also from my court, the law researchers, interns, ladies and gentlemen. I am deeply moved and touched by the kind words and sentiments so eloquently expressed by Honorable the Chief Justice, Mr. Anil Soni, Mr. Sanjay Lau, Mr. Murari Tiwari and Mr. Mohit Mathur. I would like to share a few thoughts at this point of my life. So someone asked, is destiny that decides everything? Does one become a judge only if destined? Or is it a reflection of competence if one becomes a judge? Are judges divine or endowed with divine powers? Questions that are ordinarily thrown at us or maybe arise in some person's mind. Yes, destiny brought me back to Delhi and into the judiciary. A small advertisement caught the eye of my father's eldest brother. He in a small village in Kerala, and he sent that cutting to my father asking me to appear in the exam, the Delhi Judicial Services exam. This was in 1984. Honestly, it was on account of the deep respect for my uncle that I agreed, boarded the train from Chennai and came to Delhi. Sitting in the UPSC lawns, my dear classmate of the famous 1982 batch asked, "Did you see the Registration Act?" I panicked. What act? What sections? Both of us scanned section 17 and some other provisions. And what providence? There were a couple of questions right out of those sections. I sailed through, but my friend didn't. That didn't dent our friendship though. While back at home in Chennai, I was eagerly awaiting the appointment letter to arrive. But what I received instead was a notice from the Supreme Court. Unbeknownst to me, the person who had got the highest in the total marks, but had fallen short in meeting the requirement in one paper, we had 5 papers to clear, had challenged the entire process before the Supreme Court. Justice E.S. Venkatramaiah, the then Chief Justice of India, while dismissing that challenge, also directed that the original list of 27 would be the final list and all named there would have to be appointed. While some out of that list could join in July 1985, I joined the judicial services with others on 4th November 1986. So yes, destiny did play a crucial role in my becoming a judge. But what I did thereafter is not destiny. That was what I did. That freedom is available to all to make the most of what destiny serves. Destiny chooses and her parameters for selection are unfathomable by an ordinary mind. But one alone is responsible for what one makes of that destiny. The first may not reflect competence or the lack of it, but the latter does. What about divinity? It is not everyone who is permitted to judge the actions of another. The work does require divine guidance, and I am sure every judge has lent heavily on it to decide what is right. I admit to it myself. Considering the heavy work put in by competing and competent lawyers in an adversarial system such as ours, it will come as no surprise. The divine intent thus works through judges, but that would not make judges divine. Judges cannot claim divinity or divine authority. Always conscious of their being a mere conduit, it is natural for them to be righteous and just, yet humble. It is usual to refer to the courts as temples of justice in common parlance, but it must never be forgotten that the deity is the truth and the judges and lawyers are its servitors. Courts are hallowed spaces. The appendages to the majesty of the court, be they the uniform or the manner of addressing the judges or the lawyers, only enhance that aura. An unintended effect of this is that young first-timers fail to find their voice and feel defeated and dejected, but do grow into skillful advocates and live to tell their first appearance tales to waves of juniors. It is an opportune moment to lay bare my anguish in having had to read lengthy plaints and lengthier written statements, which are only repetitive para after para. When and why the style changed is something to be researched upon. The computer has eased drafting and research, but it has also, I think, led to switching off the brain function. The only way to cure this is maybe to ask all new lawyers to write out the plaint or other pleadings. Their arm will remind them when to stop. The brain will work sharply to ensure focus and crisp pleadings. I had a unique experience of having to deal with an application under Section 151 CPC in a criminal miscellaneous petition sitting on the criminal roster. An affidavit not solemnly sworn and affirmed, but was a cut and paste job of the complaint under Section 138 NI Act was another gem. In our time, in the absence of stenographers, we had to write judgments by hand. I learnt my lessons well enough that even after the computers and stenographers and PAs, I suffered a disability of being unable to produce long judgments. The need to read to correct them also discouraged me from being too boring. I did have occasional bouts, however, of regret in being unable to write lengthy and exhaustive judgments as some of my colleagues are and were able to do. Hard work has no substitute. It is my request to senior advocates in the bar that they spare some time every day to coach youngsters in drafting and preparing arguments. The youngsters on their part have to be open to learning. Ambition is all right, but learning from an experienced teacher would make the journey less arduous. They must spend a good part of their time in different courts to watch senior advocates present cases to the court. Being part of a seniors team is one kind of experience, but watching and listening with a relaxed mind would allow you to understand and develop courtroom skills. Read complete judgments. Words in search engines will not be enough. Over a period of time, I have noticed how subject matter of litigation has changed, how new legislations have given rise to new disputes, how economic activity has changed the nature of commercial disputes, and how international obligations have introduced new modes of dispute resolution of mediation and conciliation, where earlier only arbitration was the alternate available. Cyber crimes and economic offenses have taken over large part of criminal matters. Intellectual property claims have increased, and this court is the first to have an exclusive IP division. In this scenario, one would only wish that traditional disputes, such as matrimonial disputes, are seen less as a do-or-die litigation and with greater humanity. I had the occasion to observe in a case before me relating to payment of maintenance, not the portion that he read out, that it was time that there was a change in the attitude when litigation was filed by one spouse against the other. To introduce bitterness serves nobody's purpose. I hope that the legal fraternity would encourage quick resolution of matrimonial disputes by making use of the special procedure with the family courts, the counseling centers, and the mediation centers to work out a more amiable and less torturous resolution to family and matrimonial problems. I sincerely wish that this hope will be realized sooner rather than later. The role of the legal fraternity would be of immeasurable value in rescuing lives from the brink of ruination and annihilation. An intern recently remarked that I was partial to women. It surprised me, but as I look back, certain memories flash by. Much before the passing of the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act, as a civil judge, I had accepted the plea of a married woman to remain in her matrimonial home and had restrained the in-laws and husband from throwing her out. I recognized as an additional rent controller the right of the landlord to claim possession from a tenant on grounds of bona fide requirement for the residence of a married daughter, he having only two daughters and remaining sick and requiring assistance. The bona fide requirements of a married son is always recognized. While dealing with release of compensation paid by the government upon acquisition of agricultural land, I would insist on the daughter's presence, irrespective of affidavits having been filed in the court. And it used to be a pleasurable experience for me to see the happy faces when a child is sick. When a child is sick, for instance, a mother will face a dilemma. I remember when my son was about a year old, I had wanted to seek a transfer from Tees Hazari to a court nearer home on account of his frequent ill health. On one day, after taking him to a doctor, I held the court an hour late. A young lawyer had some misunderstanding. He called upon the Bar Association to support him, and they gathered in the courtroom. It used to be a usual practice some time back. Most painfully, a senior and well-respected office bearer said, "If you can't work, sit at home." My resolve that day was, I will be here, and so will they, and let's see who knows to work and work. So I cancelled my appointment with the Registrar General. I remained in Tees Hazari for about 15 years thereafter. The young lawyer had apologized the same day. The others never repeated such an incident. And the person who made that painful remark several years later described me as an excellent judge to a new Chief Justice of this court. I would like to thank Justice A.P. Shah. My point is that many times we are overwhelmed by a situation that is more emotional and very difficult to handle. Probably as a woman, we may be more emotional, and I don't find we should be apologetic about it. But we are made of steel ultimately, women. So please, I would always salute all strong women. I would like to thank Justice A.P. Shah, the then Chief Justice, and the then Chief Justice of India, late Justice Altamas Kabir, for giving me an opportunity to make access to justice a reality all across the country. I was with the legal services for almost 7 years, and the experience enriched me and improved my performance in discharge of judicial function. It is my conviction that a stint with the legal services must be made mandatory for judges. So it is now time, as they say, to propose the vote of thanks. What I am is attributable largely to my upbringing and the values inculcated in me by my late parents, late M.V. Janardana Menon and late P.T. Sarojini Menon. I shall always remain indebted to them. I thank my husband, Sri C. N. Sri Kumar, senior advocate, for protecting me from the vicissitudes of his professional life and mine, and due to which I have completed my journey as a judge with my head held high. My children, Anupama and Arun, are my pride in all ways. Never a complaint on their lips if work sometimes took priority. My dear sister, Sati, and my dear brother, Prakash Menon, who have always been there for me at all times, strong soldiers, shoulders to lean on. My brother-in-law, Sri K.K. Rajendran, who is present, and my sister-in-law, Srimati Sirila Menon, whose affection for and understanding of me is too deep for me to be expressed. Their children who have made us proud. I bow in gratitude to my uncle, late M.V. Shankara Menon, but for whom this journey would never have begun. I record my gratitude to my uncles and aunts for their blessings readily bestowed. I remember gratefully my mother-in-law, late Bhavani Amma, who was very proud of me and created many an exception to her rules for me. I must also acknowledge my in-laws, who are all achievers and have supported me in my endeavors. I was the last to come to this court as part of the celebrated 1982 batch of the Campus Law Center, University of Delhi. I always love that sound, Campus Law Center, University of Delhi. I am also the last one to go. Since Justice Jayant Nath had listed the names, I forbade from repeating them. It was after almost 30 years that I shared the bench with my classmate, Justice Rajiv Sahai in law. That is, however, not to ignore the other bench partners, Justice S. Muralidhar, Justice Hima Kohli, Justice Manmohan, Justice Rajiv Shagdar, and Justice Suresh Keth. And I thank them for their support and guidance. I once again thank the bar, for without them, nothing would have been possible, be it in the trial courts, the High Court, or the legal services. I wish to place my deep appreciation for my staff who, except for 2 PAs, joined as first-timers to their jobs and have never given me cause to complain. My private secretary, Manjeet Kaur, PS Sunil, Senior PA Anjali, PA Chitaranjan, Courtmaster Suman Chawla, Assistant Courtmaster Vijay, Restorer Inder, Attendants Abhimanyu, Dhanraj, Bodhilal and Rajkumar, and PSOs Ambali Kuttan and Jaswant and Giri Kumar, who is now retired. I wish them well and quick progress in their careers. The law researchers, past and present, have given me invaluable support in the court. A special thanks are due to Sri Bache Singh Asha and to Sri Madan, my chauffeur, for their personal involvement in taking care of me. So it's time to say goodbye from cozy, familiar surroundings, but to a wonderful world outside that beckons me with a smile and an assurance that the past is golden, but the future too is full of sunshine. My regards to all.
I seek the permission of Hon'Ble the Chief Justice to close the proceedings. The proceedings are closed.